Hi guys, it's Eden. How are we doing? Are you subscribed to my channel yet? Go on, subscribe. It's down here somewhere. Subscribe and make sure you're part of the notification gang. I think it's up here somewhere. Done? Okay. So I'm going to give you a story time today. So make sure you're comfortable. Get yourself some crisps, a drink, because I'm about to give you the tea. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you a couple of stories. I guess let's just get straight into it. There's no beating around the bush, is there? Um, how do I start? Okay, so my life isn't that interesting, to be honest with you, but I do have a lot of random stuff that happens to me. Um, my mum is a nurse, okay, and she works in a psychiatric unit. Now she works for the NHS, but years and years ago, she used to work for an independent place. And there was this guy. Let's call him Peter. Okay? His name wasn't Peter, but let's call him Peter. I must have been about maybe 14. Okay, first of all, I was 14. Yes, I should know better, but, you know, curiosity. Okay? So I'm at home with my friends, like we're chilling, and then I get a call, random call from Peter, and he says, "Oi, hello, is this Tiffany?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who's this?" My name's Peter. Peter. Yeah, your mum gave me your number. My mum gave you my number? Like, you guys, my mum, yeah, back in the day, like, she don't play that, okay? No. So I was like, my mum, really? Like, who are you? Yeah, she works with me. She works with you. So how old are you? Oh, I'm 20. Okay, I'm 14. Like, what do you want? Basically. Uh yeah. Your mom just said that I should call you because like you'd want to talk or something. I'm sitting here, I'm so confused. My friend is like, what's going on? Like, put him on speakerphone. So like he keeps chatting and chatting and chatting, and you know, it's so long ago I can't even remember what happened. But basically, my mum comes home that night, and I'm like, who's Peter? Like, how has Peter got my number? What's going on? And she's like, oh, you know, he's just a patient. A patient? You gave a patient my number. I told you she works in a psychiatric unit. You gave a patient my number. Now I know that this did not happen. She was like, no, I was giving your number to, I don't know, she told me some cock and bull story about giving the number to her colleague for something to help her daughter or I don't know, whatever. And this patient overheard and took down my number. Right? Okay. I am proper baffled. I'm like, okay, so what do I do? She's like, if he just calls you again, don't worry, just ignore it. It's cool. So I'm like, okay, ignore it. I can do that. I can ignore it. It's fine. I'm 14. I should know better. But I'm very curious. So he calls me a couple of times and I like ignore the call. And one day I'm out with my friends, the same friend that I was with before, and he calls again and we answer. And he says, oh, like, let's link up, like, and I was and I said to him, my mum told me you're a patient, which means that you're not all there. I tried to say it in the nicest way possible, like, so I said something along the lines of, my mum told me that you're a patient, which means you're not all there. Like, she didn't give you my number. You must have overheard my number. So therefore, I don't really understand why you're calling me. And it's like, oh, let's link up. So me and my friend like, okay. Right. So we go. This place is somewhere in Shirley. We go. Like the whole way there, we're like, no, this is a bad idea. This is really a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's bad. Let's go home. But we still go. All right. Like, you know in the films, like the thriller films and horror films where the black person always dies first, I always say, no, that's not a true story. Like, that's not going to happen. As an adult, that would never happen. Obviously, we don't go and investigate. We just go, okay? But as a 14-year-old child, I was just like, I wanna know, like, who is this guy? Like, you know. So we go, call him, and he comes down the road. Like, yeah, he's like, I'm like, okay. And as he's walking up, we're like, why do we do this again? So I think I literally said 2 words to him, and he went, "What? I'm not mad. Like, man smokes weed a bit. That's all." And we were like, "Okay." And literally started backing up. We were like walking backwards, walking backwards, walking backwards, and then started to bolt. And as we're bolting, my friend drops on the floor. I don't know what happened, how it happened. It was all a flash. But we just go. I'm like, get up. We gotta go. Like, the man's not chasing us or anything. He's standing there like baffled, like, what's wrong with these girls? But we're like running because we're thinking, this is so weird. Like, why are we doing this? So we get to the bus stop, and as we get to the bus stop, my friend's like, oh my god, my knee is really hurting me. Like Tiffany, ow, this is really, really hurting me. And I'm like, no, suck it up. Let's just get home at least, right? So we get to Croydon, and she gets off the bus, and her knee is like this fat, and we're like, what's happened? Like, I've never heard of something like this before. So, she goes home and everything, and then she rings me or texts me in the night, and she's like, I've gone to the hospital. In the morning, she calls me and she goes, oh, I've got fluid in my knee and I've got crutches. Super. Great idea, girls. You should so do this again. Yeah. I don't actually remember what happened after that story. I just know that she was on crutches for about 3 weeks until the fluid went down. I don't think he ever called me again, or I changed my number or something like that. Recently, maybe like a few years ago, I actually told my mum about it, and she was like, you did what? Like, oh my god. So yeah, I don't, like, to this day, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, now as an adult, as a 27-year-old woman, I would never, like, if someone called me randomly out of the blue, like, I would not, like, he could be a serial killer, anything. And this was a patient in a mental psychiatric unit. So I'm like, what was you thinking? Like, girl, really? Really? Really, girl? Really? Yeah. Okay. This story involves the same friend from the first story, okay? We're going to call her Layla, right? Her name's not Layla. Layla's actually my middle name, but anyway, let's go. So we're going to call her Layla. Me and Layla had been friends for years at this point, and I think we might have just left school, so probably 16, okay? And I don't know how to drive at this point. Mummy and Daddy used to drive me everywhere, or I take the bus. And I can't actually even remember what happened, but there was this boy, like, quite good friends of ours. Let's call him Ashley. We'll call him Ashley, okay? His name wasn't Ashley, but let's call him Ashley. So me and Layla, like, we'd been hanging out with Ashley for like a couple of days, and she had come to mine, and we were bored, and we called Ashley, and we're like, Ashley, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm at the park with so and so. Like, come if you want to come. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I want to come. Let's go. She's like, oh, how are we going to get there? I'm like, oh. Now, the most smartest idea would be the bus. a taxi, walk even, jump even, whatever. The smartest idea is not, let's get in my dad's car and drive there. I'm 16. I have never driven before in my life. And I decided that I was going to drive us to this park. Yes, I know. 14, meeting people from a psychiatric unit. 16, driving cars when we don't know how to drive. I know, I had an eventful childhood, right? Okay. So we get in this car and I say to my dad, oh, Dad, can we have the keys? Like, we want to go listen to music. Tiffany, what happens when he goes downstairs? What happens when he goes downstairs and the car's not there? Didn't think about this, no. Okay, so he gives me the keys, like, fine, whatever. Gives me the key. Like, I used to go and sit in the car and listen to music, so it wasn't out of the ordinary. So we get in the car, we're sitting down, and then I'm like, yeah, let's, like, well, I can do it. So I call Ashley. Bring, Ashley. Okay, we're coming, but can you tell me how to drive? He's like, what? Yeah, can you tell me how to drive? He knew how to drive, right? I think he was actually 17, so he drove, but we were 16. Yeah, something like that. But he could drive, I couldn't drive, my friend couldn't drive. So how'd you drive, Ashley? What do you mean, how'd you drive? Yeah, how'd you drive? Like, I'm going to drive us to the park, so how do you drive? Okay, is it an automatic or a manual? How am I meant to know? Well, is there numbers, or like, is it in a straight line, or is it like, he said something and I was like, oh, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was a manual. No, I think it was an automatic actually. So I'm like, yes, an automatic. And he's like, okay, so put your foot down. No, it was a manual. I remember it was a manual because he was like, put your foot down on the on the clutch, put it in reverse, because we had to reverse, and then put your foot on the gas and lift your foot off the clutch slowly, right? So I did this once and the car didn't go anywhere. Like, I'd put the handbrake down, etc. The car didn't go anywhere, and I'm like, okay. He's not on the phone anymore by this point. And I'm like, what? It's not working. Like, I tried it a couple of times, and then all of a sudden I did something, like, I don't know what I did, but I did something, and the car went zoom, bang, straight into the wall at the back of us. You get whiplash, you get whiplash, you get whiplash. Whiplash for everybody, okay? We had whiplash for days, okay? I'm like, what what did I just do? Like, I am in tears. I'm like, oh my God, what is my dad gonna say? He's gonna be fuming. Like, I was a daddy's girl. Like, I really was a daddy's girl. I knew my dad was going to be so disappointed, and that was worse than anything. And I was just like, oh my God. I call Ashley. I'm like, Ashley, oh my God, like, why did you let me do this? I've just crashed the car. He was like, what? Like, you wanted to drive, like. But really, what did I think was going to happen? Did I think I was going to drive to the park and it was going to be all cushy, all fine, like, we were going to get there safely? Like, what did I think? Even if I could drive, like, how was I not going to get stopped on the way? Like, I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. Like, God. If I could talk to 16-year-old me, I would just be like, you're stupid, okay? You're stupid. Nothing else. Anyway, so I'm like, Ashley, please come and look at the car, because like, he was doing mechanics and stuff like that. He's good with things like that. I was like, just tell me, can it be fixed or whatever? And he comes like an hour later or so. Like, we are in so much pain, me and my friend. We're like, oh my God, like, my dad hasn't come downstairs yet by this point. And he comes and he was like, this is not fixable. Like, it's written off. Like, the car is meant to be round, like the bumper or whatever it's called, the back. I do drive now, guys, but I'm just not very good with cars. So whatever it's called, the bumper, I'm guessing, is meant to be curved, and it's flat. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it's written off, basically. Sorry. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I am in tears. I'm hysteric. Like, he's just like, do you know what, just firm it, basically. Just go and say, look, this is what's happened. Like, I'm so sorry. And, you know, just firm it. So I'm like, okay, cool. They've gone. Layla's sodded off with Ashley and left me. And I'm like, okay. So I sit in the car for a good hour, okay, contemplating what I'm going to do. And in the end, I did have to just suck it up. And I came to my dad and I was like, look, Dad, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. And basically, I crashed the car. And he was like, really? Like, he was so calm about it. Like, I was surprised. Like, I thought there was going to be, like, I don't know, like fireworks somewhere. But he was so calm. He was like, okay, let's go and see. And he came and he was like, what? Why did you do this? Like, oh my God, like, what are you thinking? Blah, blah, blah. A long story short, like, me and my friend, we were in pain for days and days and days. The car was written off. I never got in trouble for it, like, officially. I got in trouble with my parents, but not officially. Yeah. And to this day, like, at my area, you wouldn't know if I didn't show you, but if I showed you, there is a, like, carving of where the bricks were replaced, because where we crashed, some of the bricks broke. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Story number 3, guys. Story number 3. Okay. Same people in this story. So there's myself, there's Layla and Ashley and a few other people. Me and Layla were absolutely addicted to house parties, right? She always had a free house. Her mum was super cool. Like, even if her house wasn't free, like, her mum would be like, yeah, I'll go and chill upstairs, or I'll go out. Like, you guys can do your thing. So we used to always have house parties, like, all the time. Like, literally every other weekend, we would have a party. And they were just getting out of hand. And this is quite a serious story, actually. It's not even funny. But as I look back on it, I'm like, oh my God, this has actually happened. So we're having this house party, right? And there was this DJ that used to come and DJ for us. And this particular party, he invited a load of his friends, right? I can't remember where it's from, maybe North London or something like that. So a load of these friends come and, like, everyone's vibing, they're fine, like, it's super chilled. And then when, like, towards the end of the party, like, where everyone's going home, there's only, like, a few of us left. And I don't even know what started, like, I don't know where it came from. I can't remember, like, if someone said something to someone, or, like, Ashley was protecting someone, like one of our friends, or I don't know what happened. And then all I remember is literally everyone starts, all these friends of this DJ start beating on Ashley, and we're like, oh my God, like, there's literally no guys left in the house. Like, our friends, guys, they've gone. Like, it's literally just a couple of our girlfriends and Ashley, and then this DJ and his friends. And this DJ is super cool. Like, we've never had a problem with him, but his friends are amped, and they proper went in on Ashley. Like, I think there was like 5 of them on Ashley, and it's just us girls, so we're like screaming and we're trying to get them off him, and like, oh my God, like, it was mad. And then my friend's little sister, they have a baseball bat in their house, so she ran to go and get this baseball bat, and then the boys just literally, like, ran out and left. And oh my God, like, when they got up, right, I was literally sitting in front of Ashley like this, like, trying to protect him. And like, I went to move and he was like, no, sit there. Because when I turned, his face, oh my God, it was swollen everywhere, black and blue. Like, Ashley's light skinned, so, like, his eye had swollen up. Like, I've never seen anything like it. We're crying, we're screaming, like, oh my God, like, what's happened? And Seriously. Like, not fun. This is literally the last house party that we had, because I think sometimes it takes something really serious to happen for you to like get out of a bad habit. Like, I call it a bad habit because like I don't have a problem with parties, but we were literally every weekend we were having a house party. Like, there's no need for it. So yeah, like he was pretty beat up, and to this day I don't even think I know what happened to those boys, because the next day Ashley's mum like was like, Layla, you need to tell me who them boys are. Like, and like she's asking me, I'm asking her, like, I don't know who them boys. We only knew the DJ, so we're calling the DJ and we're like, boy, you need to let us know who the boys are, because so and so, and he's like, I don't really know them. First of all, why are you inviting people that you don't really know to a house party with super close, like, it's a super close house party, like everyone knows everyone, and you're inviting people that, you know, it was I don't know whether he was lying or I don't know, but yeah, man. that was serious. Oh, gives me the heebie-jeebies when I think about it now. Yeah, so that was a nice serious note to end on, guys. I don't know what the moral of the stories are. Don't meet up with random people from psychiatric units. Don't drive a car when you don't know how to drive. And don't have a house party with people you don't know. I guess. So if you enjoyed my story times, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you want to hear any other random stories that I've got up my sleeve. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you're a part of the notification gang, which is pressing the bell up here, so you'll know when I upload a new video. Thank you, guys. Love you.